All right. Good afternoon, one and all. I was just wanting to bring this to you, and oh, and by the way, is that turbocharged fire? That was a joke, y'all. I mean, I'm not like completely tongue in cheek, but not like I want to make this thing for a living. You know, what I mean, I didn't mean that. I just wanted to make one to burn clean. And somebody thought I was going to blow it up and make all kinds of smoke, and it was like, oh Lord, no, that's not the idea. It was to make it to burn really clean but really hot. Um, and if somebody could have a practical purpose for that, then please go ahead. But here's the direction I want to go in, y'all. Is and it starts out fairly simple. Is I have a pile of logs that sit about right here, and my cabin would be here. Nothing is to scale. The hoop house is like right here where I grow in. Um, what I'd like to do is I'd like to build another um, a cabin is what I would like to build. But it would be to get more example or whatever I'm saying is um, is it would be 600 square feet of living space. That's the minimum here in the county, and that's what I mean. This ain't the scale. I would like it to have about 1200 to 2400 square foot greenhouse in the front of it to help it maintain its temperature, and then a garage in the back of it. Size, not real sure. This would be real simple though. Flat roof, single pitch, and the greenhouse would be flat single pitch as well. Nothing, no complex, nothing is what I'm trying to get at. In but it would have the heated concrete floors. The greenhouse would have like buried PEX tubing and stuff like that. Not initially, but that would be the idea, is to make it truly an earthship is what I'm trying to get at, an earthship idea. Now the wood concept is what I'm going off of right here. Is I'd like to offer two people, and I've already made this video before, and I got it shut off on me, and so I got to do it again and not screw it up. So bear with me, y'all. But the wood that I got outside is I would like to pick up maybe 3, 4 more loads of that firewood, and some of it's good. I mean, some of it's extremely good wood. Sound solid is what I'm trying to get at. It's just not up to the mill's thing, so they can do something with it. I mean, but a chainsaw mill or a small band mill, there's plenty of usable timber in that. But I'd like to build a cabin, and then the two people that I'm offering this to, it'd be like actually four because two main people and then two apprentice people, just in case it worked. I'll show you how it's going to go down. That way people can just start picking other jobs is what I'm trying to get at. Let's see if it can clear up that. Here we go. Is two people to start with a chainsaw mill, nothing fancy. They would be living upstairs in this cabin, the right here that I'm talking about, is got plenty of firewood. The solar keeps everything on and running, so there's no electric bill. It's kind of euphoric or whatever, but you got to provide your own food, is what I'm trying to get at. You can grow a garden, and you can grow up to 12 plants, cannabis plants here in Colorado. If you buy more land, you can grow as many on that land as you wish. But on this land, you can grow 12. But to get back to the numbers, it would be two people to begin with, four actually in reality. For a chainsaw mill, to build a post timber hempcrete. I want to focus on that. Probably it's focusing on my hand. Hempcrete earthship. That would be this thing built right here, and in that way it could share the well, share the septic, and the whole bit, and it can be used as a demo. And because I'm not on the highway, it wouldn't be all that great, but it'd be a place to practice. That's what this is about. But it would be the two people to do that. Is if the job opportunity whatever proposal that I've been offered comes through by it'll be the spring of 24, then I'll have the money to do all this, is what I'm trying to get at. This kind of depends on whether or not I have the money, is what I'm trying to get at. But to purchase the wood processor, because splitting wood by hand is not really profitable. I'm sorry, it's not. But if you do it with a wood processor, I mean, there's a profit margin in the business. Just like sawmilling, I mean, the same thing. If you are doing it with a homemade uh, apparatus and do like not focusing on a business, it's not really profitable. It's barely profitable to cut your own timber, is what I'm saying, into boards. But is there money to be made? Oh yeah, you bet. If you run all carbide blades, if you sharpen your own stuff, there's simple things that you got to do. But can you make it or is it profitable if you do it right? Yeah, of course it is. I've been in the wood business in Arkansas, and we just happen to have, I believe it's like 37 or 38 square miles of burnt timber up here, y'all. So this is a business that needs to be done because the mills don't really want the burnt timber. They're still going after the normal bug kill. The burnt messes up their stuff, is what I'm trying to get at. But if you were building it and burying it into a project or selling the timber in a bandsaw, just that name alone, it would require a molding machine, and that's a four-sided molder. That once you cut it, yeah, it's going to have streaks because the wood is burnt and carbonized, and it's going to junk up. It's going to look cruddy, is what I'm trying to say. But once it's kiln dried, even just in a hoop house, or a net house is what just a 3-season visqueen greenhouse. I hate to say greenhouse because greenhouse means 4 season is what I'm trying to get at. But like a visqueen house, it'll kill and dry it is what I'm saying. Here it'll have no problem. But is to solar kill and dry it is but I'm getting way off, y'all. But I want to get this out here for an idea because I need to get a couple people between now and like January of 24 is because that's when I'm hoping to either be working here or working either there. I got a bunch of different proposals that are in my way, so I'm going to be doing something by 24, y'all. But I would like to have a couple people here to do this and to get it like started. And if those people want to stay, then there'd be like the wood processor would be require like 2 people, and that's like an income, a business forever. The sawmill would be like 2 people, business forever. That would require the skid steer, and I have a tractor and a ton truck that for small jobs, like tiny driveways or whatever, the machines could be used on the side, as a revenue stream, but they would be needed on an hourly or a minute by minute on an operation is what I'm trying to say. The building the cabins, eventually that would be what this is all about, and down on the Rio Grande, and it would take like different amounts of people to make that like a production, like to do all the gussets and the like welding up the ugly Iron Man or a unit per the cabin, and stuff like that. A heating source, a cooking source, and fabricating all that is it would just require more people. And eventually, I'd like to make a community where it was all based out of, and everybody kind of agreed. I mean, I would love to live down by the Rio Grande. That would be my dream of dreams, is to have maybe 20 acres, a manufacturing facility on 20 acres where we could be generating this kind of, what do you call that? Like a kit project, or whether you could sell it as a kit or help with a kit, but it would be hempcrete for up here in the mountains, and then fire wouldn't be a problem. For the 37 or 38 square miles of timber that burnt, you could rebuild with confidence with hempcrete. That's the idea of the whole project. And if you want to be involved, I need 2 grunts to help to begin with. 4 grunts, I'm sorry. 2 right in the beginning, then 2 to follow. But I need 2 grunts to start with the chainsaw mill, and that can be homemade. We'll build it right here. And we're going to build the post and timber hempcrete earthship. This idea, like right here next to the cabin in the existing greenhouse. Like I said, y'all can grow 12 plants per person on this property. You can grow as many as you want anywhere else, is what I'm trying to say. Um, and if you got what do you call that? The medical thing, like if you're a cancer guy and I'm not limiting this to guys or whatever. If you're two girls or if you're a girl guy or just a girl and another guy wants to be in it or, two girl or whatever it is, I don't care. This is just an opportunity for two people, four people, to start with and to get this started. And then as it progresses into these different things, those four people fill in these other jobs is what I'm trying to get at. But that's the idea, is to start a business here in Colorado, debt-free, and move from there. But that's the video, y'all. And I was going to go outside, but I doubt that I can pause this and show it to you at the same time. I'll see. Let me see if I can't do that. It did it, and I can't believe it. Here's basically where I want to build the cabin, like right where them logs are right currently. And there's more than enough timber there, even though there is mostly firewood. There's more than enough good timber in that to build the frame structure of the cabin on concrete, is what I'm trying to say. And to use a lot of it is I would like to, the second I can get the sawmill, is I would like to use the rest of it for projects like here. Let me get to the side of this. Is for putting on the side. I want to wrap the house. I already have the Tyvek. I just didn't have it wrapped, and I'm paralyzed, so I don't like climb ladders well. But is to pick up a couple pieces of scaffolding, wrap the house in Tyvek, a nice good double wrap pinned underneath the eaves and stuff like that. Pull out these plastic that's acrylic, take them out, and put in the aluminum ones like I started over here, or not the vinyl ones like I started over here, but put them around, and eventually I'd like to take out the skylights that are above and put in a dormer. The skylights were a bad idea on this thing. But actually upstairs is from there to there, that's a full 8 foot. And so that's like 10 foot on this side, and it's bigger than it looks, is what I'm saying, But to use all the extra lumber into like board and batten siding on this after it's been wrapped, that kind of jazz, fixing this one up over here. But I'd like to make, what do you call that? Like an example house. I don't know the words for it. I'm sorry. I would know it, but I'm just drawing a blank. Is like a spec home is what I'm trying to get at. So people, when they would buy it, I can't see y'all. I can't see what y'all seeing. There's glare on the front of the screen. There we go. But I would like to build a spec home out in here, small, an earthship, to where we can record temperatures and stuff like that, where it's running on its own, is what I'm trying to get at. And here's the hoop house, and I would like to make this into a physical greenhouse to where it has the sidewalks down and using the evacuated tube solar to heat the floor and stuff like that through the winter, to make it like where you could grow your own vegetables kind of thing. Cannabis only needs netting. Cannabis doesn't need like greenhouses. And the last part of the project is off in this direction over here. I can't really see it, what I'm saying is I'd like to build a manufacturing building, but all on this tiny 5 acres, and this is where I'd like to start, and then take this and then buy like 20 to 100 acres down on the river and start building the cabins and still selling them for like a business to forever. But if there's four people, I keep messing that up. If there's 4 people, but 2 in the beginning, and then it would be like 2 later on in 24, because none of this is going to happen this year. I'm going to be out of debt by August or September, and I can leverage that because I got a lot of stuff, y'all. More than anything you've seen here. But to leverage it to get this going, but I need 2 people to like volunteer. Is we'll work it out. There's no paycheck involved, so it is got volunteer. Is but is to but then you'd be able to stay in the house. Da 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 da. Yeah, I mean all the rest. Grow, live in Colorado, and then as soon as we get the processor, then you'd have a real paying job. Is what I'm trying to get at. The processor, the skid steer, the tractor, and no, the tire's not wonky. That's a spare. Somebody mentioned that one day, and I said, no, it's not broken. It's in good shape. It only has 1,000 hours on the tractor. That's a spare. It's just sitting leaned up against it. That's all that is, y'all. Is I just remembered that when I saw that. Now I saw what they meant too, and it was like, yeah, it does look broke. But the river is down over this direction, the Rio Grande, and that's where I'd like to buy, like I said, 20 to 100 acres and build timber frame hempcrete homes, resell them. And if you all want to be a part of it, hit me up on the Gmail thing. You'll find it on the site. If some of y'all know my number, hit me up or wherever. Text me or whatever. But it is really not a money issue. It's just a physical issue. Need 2 people. 2 warm bodies to start with, and then 2 to follow when it kicks off. All right, y'all. Talk to you then.